Well, industry is one of the three areas the Prime Minister highlighted as being where the biggest cuts to emissions needed to be made in order to meet that 2035 target. Andrew McKellar is the head of the Australian Chamber of Commerce and Industry and joins us now from Canberra. Hi there, Andrew.
Hi, Ros. Great to be with you.
So what's your view of the emission reduction target the government has set?
Look, it's an ambitious target. So I think, obviously, the government has taken a lot of advice on this in the end. This is where the Climate Change Authority has advised that the range should be. And, from a business point of view, it's a challenging target. Business is committed to doing its part to ensure that we can get to that goal of net zero by 2050. Nobody is kidding themselves. There will be a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work under this target, but we have to ensure that we balance both the scientific considerations and also that we get the economics right as well.
So what are your members, business and industry, going to have to do in order to meet it?
Well, look, I think there's a lot of work to do, and I think if you look at the sector plans, I mean, we are still going through the detail. It's fair to reflect one of the biggest issues that industry faces at the moment is the costs that we incur in terms of energy. We've got to have a sustainable pathway forward. We've got to have energy security and we've got to have energy affordability as well. So I think getting that balance right, obviously we've got to, I think, put our best foot forward. We've got to aim to be able to get to these targets that have been set by the government today. But we can take nothing for granted.
What help will you get from the government then to make the changes that you need to make to reach the target? Is it enough?
Oh, look, I think the government has elaborated some more policy measures, in the past 24 hours, more today. So, look, we're looking at those. But the key thing here is, business and industry needs certainty. We have a range of policy mechanisms in place with the safeguard mechanism, with the capacity investment scheme, with the vehicle fuel efficiency standards, also with the renewables targets. So I think all of those parameters are there. We've got to try and make those work. We've got to get that investment in place from industry into lower emission technologies. So we've really got to set that pathway forward. And the important thing is business needs certainty. I think today's announcement helps with that. It provides a pathway that we can work towards. And obviously we will approach this very constructively.
Well, I think it was the Treasurer who made the point that the target does give investors certainty about the future and where they want to put the money. He also said that private investment is going to do the heavy lifting in reaching the target. So do you think business and climate reduction is an attractive option for investors?
Well, look, there are attractive options there. Equally, there are many technical challenges that have still got to be addressed. The cost of energy at the moment is one of those challenges for many industries. We've seen a lot of ambition and a lot of hope put into emerging areas of energy storage like green hydrogen to date. Those hopes haven't been fulfilled. I think we've got to press on and look to see how we can get some of those new emerging technologies, those new opportunities into place. But we can't give up at the first hurdle. We've got to press on. Now, I think today's policy announcement helps to provide some of that certainty. It provides the guideposts that business has to work with, and we've got to get on with the job.
Right. The National Climate Risk Assessment report that was released earlier this week painted a bleak picture of the future that was ahead for Australia if emissions weren't lowered significantly, which would also cost business. So there's a balance to be reached, isn't there?
Oh, look, absolutely. And we've always said, this has to be any targets that are set. The pathway forward, it's got to take into account two things. It's got to take into account the science, and it's got to take into account the economics. Now, I think we did see that risk assessment report highlighting some scenarios. Yes, they were bleak scenarios. There's no doubt about that. They're based on forecasts and analysis, and they're underpinned by science. Equally, we've got to take into account we don't want to clear fell the Australian economy. We don't want to get to a situation where if we go too hard, we end up shutting down significant export industries and simply exporting those carbon emissions to other economies which have lower standards than ours. So I think that's why it's a balanced approach, and business will continue to work with government to ensure that we make the best effort that we can to progress along that pathway to net zero by 2050.
Andrew McKellar, thank you so much.
Thanks very much.